Here we go.
Welcome to Dwarven Forge Live. This is On the Anvil, episode 168. This is the show where we take you behind the scenes here at Dwarven Forge. We show you what we're working on. We show you some of the challenges we're facing. We show you a glimpse of the future. This is the show where, wait, I forgot my frosty beverages. We want to hear from you. We want your feedback. We want to talk to you live. We want to hear what you have to say. We want your reactions on what we're doing. This is the show where we never have any technical difficulties. We never forget the intro because we haven't streamed in like a month, and everything goes exactly as scripted. But most importantly, this is the show where we spend the next 2 hours or so hanging out, enjoying our frosty beverages, which I forgot, and talking to Rain. Welcome. We are back.
Yes, you are no longer dying.
I'm off my deathbed.
Yeah, you were extremely sick.
I got pretty beat up.
Yeah.
My
Sorry
whole family ripped through the kids' school.
Just what happens when you have kids. You just get exposed to every disease that comes through.
You're living in a leper colony.
Yeah.
Essentially, it's a thing.
But
we're here.
Yeah,
we are here, and things are getting lively, and we're going to talk about it.
Yeah, there's I think you all know basically we're going to be we're going to talk about we've got some updates to projects and all that. The big thing looming over, as I'm sure all of you know, is the tariff changes from last week. So we said a little bit about it on the Discord. We put out an update in Cities Reforged. We're going to be putting out a Dungeons Reforged update in the next couple of days. We're just waiting on a couple specifics to come in. We didn't want to like make an update and then make another update the next day. But we're gonna field questions here and kind of
tariff
tell you everything we do
episode.
know. Yeah. And then we're gonna give away a $50 Dwarven Forge gift card.
Woo!
Roughly an hour into the stream. And
$50 of dwarf bucks. That's like,
due to tariffs, you do
dwarfy
need to
coins.
pay roughly $75 in order to receive it. But
you'll owe $30 when you get it.
Yeah.
Let me warm this up.
You were promised beans. There better be beans or I'll file a hurt feelings report. That's true. I think we'd said this was around the time we were going to do it.
Well,
I don't know if that's still the plan with all of the.
Not ready for So here's what we do. Yes, I said in October we would start looking at Perilous. We don't quite have I want to have enough to show. Okay, because let's do this. We'll do a little Perilous segment after. We'll talk Perilous right after. Let's do all the news and the intro stuff, whatever. And then we can talk. Maybe one of our topics is what to expect on Perilous.
You got it.
Because you're right. Oh, it's the news. It's the news. Hey, Chris.
Yeah, what's up?
What's in the news?
I guess we should clarify. Do we consider the tariff stuff to be news, or is that going to be like main topic?
I think it'd be a topic, right?
Main topic?
Because it's so much, it's going to
be a lot. It's going to be,
We're going to get lively.
Okay, so
as you can see, well-planned episodes where everything is laid out.
The whole thing is that it's
live, it's raw, it's imperfect.
Yeah, so convention-wise, hey, we've got two conventions, sort of. I guess New York Open is not a convention, but it is an event.
Someday it may be a convention. Someday it may be a convention.
They've been talking about trying to put a convention around it? Or?
Well, the idea is they'd like to grow it enough to start adding some stuff. But right now it's a nascent gathering.
Yeah. Well, I love that card game. So if you are participating in or otherwise just going to the New York Open, we're going to be there. It's the first time doing that, but it's close by, and we're like, you know what? We're trying to get more presence in the wargaming scene, so we're doing some stuff there.
And guess what? There will be Warhammer 40K tournaments. There will be Warhammer AOS tournaments. There will be Kill Team tournaments. There will be Beyblade tournaments. Bring your Beyblades down, spin them.
My favorite Games Workshop property. Beyblade.
You know it's going to be lively. The Beyblade room is going to be bonkers.
That's what you're going to get. You're going to get like an entirely different crowd there. It's going to be sick.
And there'll be painting contest, there's painting contests or painting classes, painting contest. And we'll have a little sandbox, and we'll have some terrain on some AOS tables or some places of power.
That is this upcoming weekend?
That is this weekend.
Yeah,
in 2 days.
Man.
And it's free to enter. Like obviously, it's cost to join any of the tournaments, but you can just wander in the building like a maniac if you want.
really unfortunate of them to have the New York Open Wargaming thing here shortly after the U.S. Open, like for tennis, was here.
Totally.
Um,
Love it.
yeah, so doing that. If that's not your thing, we will also be at PAX Unplugged. That'll be the weekend before Thanksgiving in November. They're doing it a couple weeks early.
Wow.
This time around. I think there was a conflict, so we'll be there. Those are the two chances to like go see us at an event.
We'll have a 10 by 20 booth, so
Yes.
twice as big as last year. We'll have dungeons. We'll have a bunch of the Dungeons Reforged stuff in a build there, so you can see that. We'll have some cities stuff in a build, so you can see that. We'll have some sci-fi stuff in a build, so you can see that. And maybe, I don't want to make any promises because we're way behind where we'd like to be, but if we have enough to do something neat, we'll have a first sneak peek of Perilous. Although it's looking less likely every day, but we'll see. But yeah, so maybe. But if nothing else, we'll be there with a bunch of other stuff.
Outside of that, if you want other events, and hey, if you want another chance to get some gift cards. What's up?
Essen and
oh yeah,
Essen and whatever the other Stefan is.
We're also doing Essen.
Yeah.
That's the weekend after this, or is it also this weekend? It's the weekend after this.
It's the weekend after this, I think.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you're going to Essen Spiel, yeah, Rick Wagner is going to be running a booth there for us again. So yeah, if you're around there, like go ahead and we are actually sending him some cool stuff, right? Like it's not just
we sent him a few prototypes from cities, and we sent him Demon's Maw from Dungeon Reforged. So he'll have a few things to show off. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Plus, he's going to do a big display build. He's going to have a table there and doing like short, like 15-minute little dungeon crawl sample. Like, I don't know exactly how he's doing it, but he has some plans where you can just kind of like, you know what, hyper German efficiency. It's like 15 minutes, give you a little experience on the table, and there you go. I think it'll be pretty neat.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so I mean that's the other chance to see stuff. If you are in Europe and going to Essen at all, check that out.
Yeah.
We'll also be if you are also there, you should also look for the Geek and Sun booth. We're going to be if you've seen this thing they've been doing, it's called Duran's Anvil. This table that they've designed with a guy from Maine, I believe.
Paladin Woodworking.
Paladin Woodworking. It's this ridiculously over the top table with a vault in the middle that rises up and has multiple layers. You can have like multiple builds in there.
It's a hexagon.
It's a hex table that is like completely set up. Like it is for tabletop, and like that is what it's for.
Bonkers. It's badass.
Yeah. It's a ridiculously fancy luxury table. And they're gonna have some of our terrain on display there. We're trying to work with them just to kind of help just make one of the coolest possible convention displays out there. So also check them out if you're going to be, and I think they'll also be at it Unplugged, so you'll be able to see.
Yeah, they'll definitely be
Unplugged.
Yeah, and the good folks.
How many members of the team will be at PAX U? We usually do like
six,
Usually
seven.
it's me, Miles, Tyler, you, Mace, E.
Yeah,
I think that's the crew this year.
Sounds right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Outside of conventions, we're doing the third round of the Dwarven Build-Off. That is live now. We've made some adjustments to it. Marvin has been trying to figure out how to make them better since the last one, taking a lot of feedback you guys have given. So there's now multiple categories you can enter in, so it's not everybody's not competing for like the same thing. So if you're focused more on dioramas versus that sort of thing, I don't know what all the categories are, but it is all the information is in the link that I just sent through. So
instead of like the Olympics being swimmers and archers and weightlifters all competing in the shot put, it's like
there is
it's now archers can be in archery and swimmers can be in swimmery. And
I mean there is a so there's the $100 gift card that is just like best in show. That is what we had before, but now there's a bunch of $25 categories with things like most unique paint scheme, best small format build. So if you are somebody with a smaller collection, there's one that is specifically
Love
for
it.
like, oh, you only used a little and it went a long way, that kind of thing. Cleverest hidden detail, a lot of interesting categories in there. So it's a chance to win some gift
Cleverest
cards.
hidden detail. The
Yeah.
most Dwarven Forge category ever.
Yes. So check that out if you're interested. You've got a little under a month to enter. It's running through November 7th. Might as well enter, right? Like the whole thing, it's not going to cost you anything, and it's a lot of fun.
It's fun.
Everybody
Get
shows
to
off
see
their
what
builds
everybody's
and-
doing. Like,
yeah.
super cool. Hey, Crystal Sully's here.
Hey, Crystal
Hey,
Sully.
Crystal. It
How
was
you
good to
doing?
see you yesterday. Woo. Crystal's killing it. Got a lot of cool projects coming up. Making awesome art.
Yes.
And she was here in the studio yesterday, which
I
is
think
super
it's all
cool.
the news that isn't tied into the tariff stuff.
Did we do we want to do we have some new, like I want to add some test shots and stuff for the show. Maybe we do
we can do
that
that
before we go into tariffs.
yeah, let's do
before
that.
we go to the dry, hard hidden.
Yeah. Let's do some fun stuff, and then we'll.
Yeah. All right. So we got. I don't think we showed these. I can't keep track of what we showed yet or not. But we
It's
have
been a while. Yeah.
Paint Masters for the Demon's Maw. So these are when we get when we have our final Dwarvenite test shots made. The factory then gives us a paint sample that they try and match our paint sample that we sent and say, hey, is this what you want for production? So this is the, I don't have the painted bottom. I don't know where the painted bottom is, but I got the upper part of the Demon's Maw. So that's the paint sample of what hopefully the whole factory line should look like. And then this is the Sinister version. And Hamster's working on, I was gonna have him just lighten up this gray because it looks like it's dungeon gray right now on the bit. Just needs a little slightly lighter dry brush. Boom, boom, boom.
How do the step bases match up with the similar pieces from Forsaken Temple / Sasul? Is it Deus height?
Yay.
Or they're talking about the altar. The altar piece from Sasul.
The little altar or the raised
The one that you
the
step
platform.
Up. Yeah, the platform with the step in front.
I don't know. We should line it all up. That was a weird height. I don't think it's as high as this, but also I don't know exactly how they would line up together. But that would be a fun. Let's try it.
Yeah, I think that one was meant to go with the daises, but I don't know.
It was.
It's definitely
I can't
different
remember. The
dimensions.
top part lines up. If you sit it on top of the daises, it lines up. But I can't remember if the height. I feel like for some reason we made the height not dais height, which probably would have been stupid. But that's how we operated back then. Yeah. So we'll see. We got those guys. We got Acid Furnace.
Yeah, it looks.
It's acidic.
Wow, it's really
Furnace
bright.
like.
It's really bright.
Yeah, you knock it down with it. There it is. What the oh. And then we got the this one's not as good. We got the Rusty Portcullis.
Ooh.
Yeah. Based off like Michelle's bedroom door.
Yes.
I think one of her doors. Chuck is there. What door was it? Did she steal a bunch of these details from in your house? I don't know.
It's the most complicated paint job in the campaign.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It actually does. You can see the rust isn't popping off as much. Yeah, you can see there. Sort of they're brown. Like there's an under shade of brown there. Like. And then we got the bladed ziggurat. Eli did what he likes to do best and makes weird machines of death. Yeah, that sits in here. You can...
Oh, nice! It's over a little pond.
I put the this is the water from the Oracle pool
right
in there at the low setting, so you can make like right because that looks cool. And there's like a little something under there, and you put a like something. Bedroom door, it is. Yeah, from a castle somewhere. Yeah.
Do the dungeons reforged narrow passages have anchor magnets?
Yes.
Yeah.
We remastered them to put anchor magnets on those guys because everybody loves their anchor magnets. And then this is the Sinister version. Are you ready for? You guys buckled up for the bottom side? Who's ready? We're gonna to flip it and reverse it. Look at those purple runes. I mean, come on.
Why don't you put that thing down, flip it, and reverse it?
Look at that. That's, if you got to go out, a bunch of shiny purple blades is the way to go out in style. Yeah.
If you can make it to the purple before the gold ones.
It's going to be cool. Yeah, Sinister is going to be awesome. We'll have some Sinister at PAX Unplugged if you want to see it in person. Or Dragus lost the ability to speak. He was so excited by the purple. I liked it. He barely had the ability to speak to begin with. Yeah.
Yes, that's the dungeon's garbage disposal.
It is, right?
Well, the circle overlays fit into the old Oracle pool as well. The ones from Colt with the Floridel don't fit in, so just wanted to check. The circle overlays. Oh, the
Wait, what?
the like light puck filters, the round filters.
They should fit in
They
the
should fit in there.
They should fit in the Oracle pool. They should be the same size. All right, so when we go to the next thing, I'll get let me get those phantasmal filters. You're talking about the round phantasmal filters. All right, so we'll get those.
They should fit.
And the Sissul Deus, and we'll look at some heights and stuff. They're loving the Missy Elliott. It's good.
I wasn't sure if you were gonna know Missy Elliott.
That's where it was coming from in the first place. That was.
Oh, it was.
Yeah.
Oh, so you weren't even. Okay.
That
so
was.
you were
I was
making-
in college when that came out. It was
That's
very popular at the.
wild, actually.
Yeah. All right. Do you okay? So now we got. All right. So that was it for dungeons. Any questions in dungeon bits before we look at a couple? We got a couple of cities bits.
Most people are saying that. What is going on out there?
Drumline?
Yeah. Huh. Mostly people are saying that, yeah, like their filters don't fit into the pool, which is interesting because they really should.
Because if the light puck fits,
Because even the pool, that was also an outdoor campaign, so it should. That's odd.
Yeah. Well, we'll check that in a moment.
Yeah.
Yeah. 100%. Yeah. All right. So we're going into the cities, into the. I guess it's the semi-future, right? Doesn't exist yet. So does anybody remember this? The little urban stump lump. So the challenge we had with this guy was, besides being beautiful and adorable, was when you got some of the trees on there, it got a little on the tippy side, right? Was a problem. The hippie tree base, yeah. Enter. Ooh, speaking of blowing out, enter Mark II. So Eli took the original and added a second ring of stones about it, so that being beautiful isn't a crime. No, this is true. It's just being too small was the crime. It was beautiful but small, but now it's beautiful and larger. So with the added size, now it is less tippy. Oh, let's put the magnolia on it because that's where it wants to. So now these guys won't, conceptually, hopefully, won't tip over unless I knock the peg out. This is the best. So anyway, so this will be a nice little improvement. Give you better playability at the table, and it looks really extra cool with the the little urn planters on there. You got the little extra step up. It's like it makes it a whole thing. So nice improvement there. Good quality of life, and we'll have a painted version of this next week. Aaron will be here in the studio. We'll get a painted version next week to show you. Well, but this is hot off the presses. So I want to show you what we got. Then. I don't know exactly how we're going to show these off though. Well, I wanted to show you, I don't think we've showed these yet on camera, the signs. So during the campaign, you guys were clamoring you saw the decals for the little signpost. You're asking for decals for the hanging sign. And so we made a sheet and we haven't shown it yet. So I'm going to show you show you where we're at currently. And the plan right now is, well, we're looking at materials to see if there's a way to make them reusable. It doesn't seem likely, but we're going to look to see if is there a way to do like the static vinyl or something so that you could peel them off and reuse them or whatever. I don't know how likely that is yet, but we'll see. But at the bare minimum, we will have 2 sheets in there so that you'll have both sides of the same sign. So you can put the same, put the same sticker on either side of the sign, so you can double it up. Hey, I'm here. So we got a whole bunch of designs here. So I don't even know like the best way to show all these. So they,
You're all pan around.
yeah, we're getting a little.
Yeah.
All right, so this is side A. Is that enough light? Yeah. All right, so we got and it's a nice mix of images, words, and images and words together. So you can get a, right? So you got a, because you want to be generic but also specific, but wide enough range that people can use them for a bunch of things, but also have enough character to be interesting and whatnot. So we got the, speaking of Crystal Sully, we got the Crimson Claw Wyvern there in the Wyvern's Nest Tavern or whatever. So it should be, and this was the, this is one of the flags from Lowtown, all the little flags in the bit. This is the Valorian Star that Eli came up with back in the original cities. So it's in the metal trapdoor that was in the bottom of the Bridge of Valor, and at the top of the roof, there's it appears, and then the mosaic on the street floor. This is the Valorian Star, which is basically just like a compass star or whatever. Ooh, you blasted that one little black that black speck. That was like.
I'm hoping it was on the outside.
Yeah, there was one. It was somewhere over here. I don't know.
I think I got.
Oh, yeah,
no, it's still there. Okay, so
yeah.
it's on the inside. All right, so I'm not going to do that right now.
Yeah. All right, and then B side. So we got. Well, let's see if I can get.
Oh wow. Okay.
Oh, did we even see that on the other? Wait, we missed. Oh yeah, we do have the Shop of Holding. So Katie designed most of these and came up with some really fun, like the Shop of Holding. I love that. Like it's it's like a generic D&D shop that could have anything.
You have to buy everything on layaway.
or the shop is only this big, but it's interdimensionally large. You go in. Or if you open a portable hole in the store, everything will get sucked into a. So then we got the old inn. We got the script thing. We got some crossed swords. We got this little guy out. I love the alchemist. Let me move into focus here. Oh, potions and the upper. Get that last. Where's that last one? I can't get it on camera. Ooh.
Yeah, I can count.
Yeah.
Just gotta figure out where you're trying to go.
Yeah. So we got a lot of we got a lot of options. So the rate this is 20 designs. So seeing what works was pretty fun. It feels like enough variety that you could populate a whole town and have a bunch of stuff. Yeah, we didn't do a Dwarven Forge too on the nose. Maybe we have this little fun forge blacksmith thing with the.
We didn't want to break the immersion,
Yeah,
They all need to actually be able to exist in the game.
Yeah.
That's fine. I'm sure,
You could have a dwarf, could have a forge.
You can probably also stick these on a bunch of things other than the signs, too.
You could.
Oh, because also, on top of that...
As well as paint your own thing.
On top of, a sheet of those being included with the sets that have the signs in them, I think we're also we're hoping to have them as like a PDF, like a free PDF download. So if you want to make
print
if you've already got the signs and you don't want to go buy a sign pack to get these, you can download the PDF and make the stickers yourself.
That's a fun. As well, a little template would be neat too. So you could, you could just make whatever you want for your custom. Mod Podge them on there and off you go.
Yeah.
Sweet. So lots of fun options to give your city some personality, and it's stuff that would be generally hard to hand paint, right? Trying to do this detail stuff would be fun. Free STLs.
Yeah, it's much more cost effective to just have these all be one sheet of printed stickers.
Yeah, it should be good. All right, so I think that's everything in cities. Was there anything else we were supposed to show that we didn't?
I don't think there's been.
I can't remember where we were last week.
It's not in store. This is part of Cities Reforged.
This is for our campaign. That's actually the pledge manager is still live right now. I will talk
Yes.
about that in a moment.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is going to be this will be in the shipping whatever 9 months from now with the campaign. We had what other pieces are tweaked? I don't think we have anything else to show yet. Eli is working on some slight little tweaks to fixes to the pieces from stuff we found along the way, but I don't think we have anything radical. This is the big one, was changing the tree base.
Yeah.
No. All right. Should we talk tariffs?
Yeah. Let's talk about Tariff. Don't like it.
No.
Yeah.
No bueno.
So, kind of out of nowhere,
Moffat's here.
last Friday, there was a sort of announcement.
Tweet.
Unclear whether this is not even a tweet. I think it was a not on the. It was on the other site.
Oh,
But,
it's
yeah.
just Twitter. It's like
Yeah, it's all
Right.
just everything is just a different version of Twitter at this point.
sandstone.
Yeah, that basically was saying that, hey, tariffs were going to be increased from China on just an additional 100% on top of everything else. So everybody
It's
is
like
currently
we're just back where
everybody is currently trying to figure out what that means and how exactly it's happening, because very few specifics were actually given.
although November 1st was thrown around, right? Like that was the
Yes, November 1st was given as a date, but it's unclear. Last time there was a grace period where if you got on the water before it goes into effect, you will be charged the tariff that was in place when you got on the water. So we're trying to figure out if that is the case, because if that is the case, if that is happening again this time, then we believe we'll be able to get all of Dungeons Reforged in during that grace period.
Well, the hard part with all this sort of each time these tariff things come in is it's been very disorganized, right? Like there is no UPS doesn't know what's going on. The International Boating Company doesn't know what's going on. Like nobody at customs can talk on the phone. Like nobody actually knows what the hell is happening. So it's hard to make plans for businesses small and large. But best we can tell, we should be able to dodge this.
However, it's very possible this stuff doesn't even actually go through. It's possible that it gets struck down or walked back before it even makes it here. But we're needing to plan for the worst case scenarios as much as possible.
Well, the good news before we get to the worst case scenarios,
Yeah.
theoretically the first container to hit the water today. I don't know if we've gotten confirmation yet or not, but that was the schedule. Was the first container supposed to hit the water today, and then the second container is theoretically next week. So both of those are going to beat the November 1st, assuming this happens, assuming this goes into effect November 1st, assuming it's grandfathered in like last time, and assuming that second container actually gets out in the water, like we should be okay with these two containers. Yay. Yes. And only pay 30%. Which we hadn't factored into the original campaign. So we were already eating 30% to begin with. That's our best case scenario.
Isn't it higher than 30? I don't know.
Is it 30 or 35?
I think 35, and but that's also not counting the 20% that was in place from a couple years ago.
So stupid.
There's so many different tariffs being laid over each other right now. But essentially.
But it's survivable. It's like, okay, we can make that work.
Yes.
It's going to mean the web store prices when those will go up a little and yada yada. But yeah.
So essentially, we wanted to kind of go over the three major things that this is affecting, which is Dungeons Reforged, Cities Reforged, and restocks.
And our sanity.
That's
the fourth thing.
Although that doesn't have anything.
Well, it's not being able to plan and not knowing what the hell is going on is really hard, especially when we don't have a giant war chest of working capital. So it's like, it's a big deal. Like these are big potentially existential threats that are moving around.
Yeah, when you're trying to work with when you're trying to plan a project that is going to take a year from beginning to end, uh, when like at any point you can wake up one day and suddenly the way that the economics work has just completely changed.
With no warning,
Yeah.
no rhyme or reason, no
Yeah.
It's just madness,
So
insanity.
the current state of things. I guess let's talk about Dungeons Reforged first, because we were on that. We are trying to get confirmation that we will be under a grace period for those containers. If that is the case, then we simply don't have to worry about this.
Yeah. Because we've already sort of accepted we're eating 30%. We're like, we can deal with it. We'll be okay on this.
Yay. And and this is also assuming we're awaiting confirmation that we are on this boat for the first container, and then the second container. If those get booted and then we don't actually get on the water, then that'll be another thing to consider. But we are, we're awaiting that confirmation. So if we're able to,
let's assume those get on the water. Let's just that's because we already missed one boat. Oh,
yeah.
I guess we didn't stream that day. Did we even tell them that?
But we did tell people.
We missed the first boat. You told them in Discord or something. Right?
Yeah, that we got kicked off of.
Yeah, by missed the boat, I mean they just said, "Oh, sorry, we're full," even though you booked a thing.
That happens sometimes. Yeah. But today is the day it was supposed to be happening, and we haven't been told that we got kicked off, so we should be on it.
Right. By default.
Yeah. If it turns out that we're not under that grace period. So the basic thought was when we were talking to Jay about it was, if we keep the containers there and just wait, we don't know how long we'd be waiting.
Yes.
And
so this is saying, hey, let's just play it super safe, keep everything in bond, and not put it out in the water, and wait out. Maybe this tariffs will go away in a month, but. Yeah. Maybe it's 6 months, maybe it's a year, maybe it's never.
Yeah. So the basic thought
then
process,
we're delaying the project even more, and you're not getting the stuff, and we're paying to hold it, and not good.
So the basic thought process is we're going forward with Dungeons Reforged shipping as quickly as we can, and just getting this stuff over here, because absolute worst case scenario, we can still just be holding that container in bond over here, close to the U.S. instead of in China. So if it turns out that we are not under a grace period, and we are looking at like a tariff charge that is going to be like half of what we made in the campaign, then if we're going to be paying to just have a container sit somewhere and be stored, it is not worse for us. Like it is not, from my understanding, and Jay's still looking into some of this stuff, it does not seem like it is financially worse for us to hold it near here instead of in China.
Well, to put it in perspective, if we've got $500,000 of merchandise in that container, that means we're paying $500,000 in tariff that was not anticipated.
In addition to the
just
tariffs,
to get it here, to give you the stuff that you already paid for.
In addition to the tariffs.
In addition to the 30%.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, what? And then from there, we'll
think about that for a second. That's that's madness. Who can operate like that?
Yeah. So from there, if that is the case, we will have the entire time it's on the water to figure out what to do. Maybe we redirect to another country, and instead of sending it through the U.S., we put it in Canada, or we send it to the EU or something, and we find a way to deliver from there. We're looking into all those options currently, but we will have time to figure that out if it turns out we're not in this grace period. But odds are we will probably be exempt from this increase. We're just trying to get confirmation.
If there's any logic to it, whatever,
yeah. So that is essentially what's going on there. The big thing to take away from it is that the last thing we want to do is ask the backers for more money.
Yes.
So the way Jay was talking about it, he's saying that basically the only way that we would want to do that is if it was like, this is an existential threat to the company, we simply have to ask for this money or the company's going to go under, basically. Like that is how much we do not want to do
We
that.
do not. We don't want to. We don't want to resort to that. Like,
Yeah.
we're very much. We don't want to.
Yes. So if you've got Dungeons Reforged order coming, do not worry. We are not. Do not worry yet. We are not wanting to collect more money from you.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're gonna do our damnedest, and we're gonna get you your stuff. Come hook or crook,
Yeah.
we're gonna get you your stuff.
How cheaper would it be to order from Europe and then ship to the U.S.? So we would not. We would still have to pay the full tariffs to anybody in the U.S. would be the problem. However, if we sent the container to Canada or the EU or something instead, we could then deliver the international orders at least without having to pay the tariffs.
Yeah. But it's 80% of our orders are domestic.
Yeah.
So it would be good for the other 20%.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because the other thing to keep in mind too
option.
is these containers don't just have these containers don't just have your pledges in it. They also have all the overstock for the store. So we're also paying tariffs on all of the stuff that we were planning to sell in the store later.
That we haven't yet been paid. Like,
Yeah.
that the idea is that's to make us money. But yeah.
It is a truly astronomical bill for if we do get hit with this full tariff. So we are looking into every means possible to negate that, basically. So that is where Dungeons Reforged is. We will try to give more specifics later this week, as Jay is calling everybody he can to try and get a straight answer on any of this stuff.
Well, we're trying to find get a confirmation stuff's on the water, and B, get any sort of confirmation of these tariffs so we can,
Yeah.
But I'm optimistic that we'll get these through without any bump, because who knows? Because there hasn't been follow-up info yet or whatever. Like, so who knows if it's all just bluster and it could, I don't know. It's impossible to predict.
Any notion when second boat will hit the water? I believe the second boat we couldn't get it on the boat that's going today, but I believe it is next week, it should still be on the water before these go into effect. If the grace period, if it is working the way that it worked last time.
Heck, we've got 2 weeks. Like, even if it slipped into the following week, we're still okay.
Yeah.
Once again, assuming that it kicks in November 1st, and assuming grandfather and so. But I don't know. I can't see any reason. Like, you couldn't do that to every company like us and larger. It's just mad. Yeah. I don't know. Once again, I'm applying logic.
Is there any order to the Reforged stock that made it onto each ship? So I believe the second container is the stuff that was produced last. So I think most of the new pieces would be in the second container. But it's also
I think
like
a bunch of the Sinister stuff is in the second container. Yeah. Is my guess.
Because those had to have new paint schemes verified.
Yeah.
So the first container is basically anything that wasn't new in some way should be in the first container.
Like classic corsets and whatnot.
Yeah.
But there could very well be like the narrow passages that got anchor magnets. Those could probably be in there. I don't know. But they're going to be close together, so it's like conceptually they're a week apart or whatever.
Yeah, they're not staggered in a way where it delays anything.
Yes. Although this, the reality of like delivery means, in all likelihood, this stuff is getting to you in January, right? At this point, if we're, because also who knows what the heck is going to happen? Like, if these things kick in on the 1st, if it's going to cause congestion in the ports, rerouting, I don't know. But like we're not going to get this stuff into the warehouse probably till after Thanksgiving at this point, and then we have to inspect it, and holiday season rolls in and whatever. So it's probably not getting out till January.
Because also, while all this is happening, the government's also shut down.
Oh yeah, there's that.
So like, is that what is that going to do to the ports? What is that going to like?
Yeah. Anyway, we'll keep you posted.
It's all hey.
I can see why they're questioning our sanity in the start.
The tariff stuff and all the other stuff that is happening outside of just the way it affects money, it also affects the supply chain, and it affects the flow of vessels, and it affects all these other things that we are supposed to be able to rely on are not super reliable. So I don't know. But the point is we are most likely the first container is on a boat right now. and we are getting this stuff over as soon as possible, and we are just
Boom,
our,
boom,
our
boom.
priority is just get this stuff over here as quickly as possible,
And get it.
get
into
information
your
as quickly as
hands.
possible, and just put a plan together based on what information we get. So that's
If there's information to be had.
yes.
And we will keep you posted as it evolves.
Yeah.
And we're doing our best to not raise prices more than we have to. We're trying to be very cognizant of all of it. And doing our best.
So that is
That's Dungeons Reforged.
yes.
Do we want
I
to
think
talk
that's
about,
everything. If you have questions about it, we'll have time to answer
Do you want
questions.
to talk about cities?
Yeah, let's talk about cities real quick.
Yeah.
So hey, a good thing here is
Paying Valorian coins.
the tariffs right now do not affect cities, because the only tariffs that will affect cities are the tariffs that are active when we actually get to the shipping part of that.
Yeah.
So we are not going to be charging people for whatever tariff stuff is going on before the pledge manager closes. We have a breakdown of what our plan was on the GameFound page for Cities Reforged. So I think the goal was basically we priced in some of it just to the base prices, and then if the tariffs get increased to a certain amount, I think we said if they go up over 50%, I think we were then going to start.
We're covering 50-50 with you guys.
I thought it was like we're doing 2/3 and they're doing a third.
I thought it was 50-50. We should read. It's on the.
It's on
site.
the site.
Yeah.
But
We're trying to not just pass it all straight along to you. We're trying to, we're trying to make it palatable and manageable.
Yes.
And we got a long time. Like the last time the 145 went into effect, it was only in effect for a month or 2 or 3.
And that's the thing. Like
by the time we're ready to ship, hopefully those will all have blown over, and heck, maybe we're down to.
Who knows? Because the main thing, like if this stuff does last for the next 6 months, I think there's going to be way bigger problems going on. Like I don't think
we're small fish.
It is essentially an embargo at that point.
Yeah.
So it's like
it's not as sustainable.
Yeah.
So hopefully that it will all blow over by then. However, people might be a little nervous right now because the idea of paying an extra 100% or whatever is, or 50% or whatever is not good.
Yes. So essentially, because everybody is anxious about it right now, we have decided to just extend the pledge manager for Cities Reforged by another month. It's going to be running through November 13th, whatever that Thursday is. 13th. So it will very slightly delay us a little bit, just on getting the order into the factory, telling them exactly what we need made. But they need to make molds anyway, so it's not going to be it's not going to be like a big delay for us. But mostly it's just everybody, when it's this volatile right now, we just didn't want people to then have to make all their Cities Reforged plans in the next week.
Once some folks had expressed concern and discomfort and fear, right? It's like, holy moly, I'm locking in a $2,000 order. Am I going to owe hundreds or $1,000 or whatever in the spring? Like, that's a very valid concern.
Yeah.
And we don't have any answers. We don't know because we don't know what it's going to be. But we can at least buy you a little bit of time to hopefully get some more information, or best guesses. Yeah. And maybe we'll still be up in the air on November 30th. That's kind of the best we can do. And there is a stable pledge program though.
Yes, that's the other thing to keep in mind. If while you're making these decisions, if the tariffs do go up to an amount that it makes it considerably more expensive, we are part of the stable pledge program. We have no intention of just keeping your money and not delivering your product. So if that does happen and you need a refund, you can just talk to us and we will do that.
Although that has happened a couple of times, right? People have pledged and then never done the pledge manager, right? From the dawn from KS1, from the very first Kickstarter throughout, there's always one or two people that are just like throwing some money and just disappear.
Yeah, the only time that has happened is when somebody has like put money in and then just gone silent, and so it's like you haven't given us the information to give you your stuff. But even then, like we're emailing them constantly.
Trying to
I think we've had people show up after like a year or something.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and
we honor it.
Like, we delivered this stuff a while ago.
Yeah.
And we figure it out. We get them the sets. So
And sometimes maybe things
yeah.
slow down where we do the best we can. You know, but I mean, honestly, if you're a year past when the thing is delivered, you're a year and a half past when the pledge manager was done. Like, you know, most companies would probably just
Yes.
keep it at that point. But
Yeah. So
we're good. We're good for it.
that's basically it. With Cities Reforged, there's no additional cost yet. You can look at the plan that we have under the tariff section on our GameFound page to see like the exact breakdown of how we're planning to do it. We are part of Stable Pledge, so just take your time.
Yep.
See how things go, because who knows how this might be affecting your.
We're just fueling the
life.
procrastination.
Yes.
It's the worst.
And also, you know,
But
now,
for the love of God, please finalize so that, you know, Eric and Chuck and Carrie are like tracking everybody down after when the thing closes, because we need to open, once we close the pledge manager, we still need to open it for the treasure chest, but we need you to have done your first thing. You need to finish the pledge manager so that we can calculate your treasure chests, and then you get those. And so it's like, please, so they don't have to send you 100 emails and like, you know, complete the damn thing.
I'm gonna check again real quick, but I think people have been finalizing a good amount at this point. How many people do we still have open?
Weren't there like 500 people still outstanding?
We were down to like the mid 300s earlier this week when I checked. We're under 300 to go now.
Nice.
Yeah, so
Good
it
job,
is.
everybody.
People are doing it.
Nice.
Yeah. And a significant portion of those people, well, not a significant portion, but a non-zero portion of those is people who work at Dwarven Forge who have not finalized their pledges yet, which is me.
Amazing.
Yeah. Okay, so I think that was everything around Cities Reforged. Basically, we're extending the pledge manager just so that there is some time to let things settle and see what happens. The other thing to mention then is restocks.
This is a part of our business too.
Yeah, we had been working on putting a restock order through, and with this thing happening right now, we were like, well, we don't want to order more stuff now when we do not know if we'll be able to bring it into the country after.
Well, because also restock is on a faster timer.
Yes.
Right, so that's like 3 months. Like that could really be in the danger zone. Right, if we put the order in this week like we wanted to, that could like if let's say these tariffs kick in and last for 3 months, we'd be right in that red zone. Not good.
Yeah. That means that I think we'll have had. Yeah, at this point, it's like cool. So the last restock we had was something that I think we ordered at the end of last year.
It was last December.
Last December, we'd put that order through, and then because of the tariff situation, we had to hold on to it, and then it just sat in China for a couple months because the tariffs were so high for a while.
Well, and that's part of the problem is we're behind on restocks, so we need a big restock, but we don't want to spend a bunch on a big restock if we're gonna have to pay 135% on it, or whatever. Like it's just brutal. So now we're again stuck in a little bit of a holding pattern and waiting and delaying that restock longer, and it's the worst.
Yeah, it is already tough because we very rarely make our money back on a restock right away, just because of our margins, and like, you know, we never sell like almost all of a restock like right away, and that's the point. Like the point is that we want it to be selling over a long period of time.
Yes.
But then when, you know, if we order what in the store would be like $1 million worth of products, we're talking about paying close to $500,000 on tariffs just to get it over here, and we'll make maybe 75 to 100,000 on the first day, and it's like, well, we've just lost money, significant amount of money to bring product in.
It's going to take a year to just pay back the damn tariffs.
Yeah.
Like on this
so
like it's crazy.
And those are all
these little
very rough numbers, but like, it is like, that is the reality of trying to do business right now. So we have a list together, and we have a lot of things we want to do with restocks, but this genuinely has just been a year of not being able to restock. Which, you know, thankfully we had both Starforge and Lowtown coming in. We already had those, which, you know, got hit with, at least Starforge got hit with tariffs. It's all rough.
Get it. This fly is killing me. There's a fly.
Or something?
There was something in the archives, like a half-finished soda or something that was open, and so now there's like all these little fruit flies cruising around that are the bane of my existence.
Yeah.
Tariff flies, I call them.
Let's see. So I think that's everything. That's basically what the restock is. The one that we were planning to have come through is now on hold. And when things stabilize again, and it looks like the tariff amount is going to be something that we can eat, we will then get at least core sets going.
Well, that's the thing is we may not even do like the full, right? It may just be core sets, may scale down, it may like, I don't know.
There is some cool stuff that we had planned. It was supposed to help us do those Newcastle configurations. It was going to have a couple cavern repaints. It was going to have the runic columns that are in ice and standard right now. It was going to have those in Underdoom. It was going to have the entrance riser from caverns that is currently in standard and Underdoom in ice.
Exciting.
So those were planned. It's
in limbo.
Yeah. Can you open a storefront and warehouse in Canada, then ship to that location? The problem...
But then how do we deal with our domestic... Yeah.
The problem is, most of our business is in the U.S. already. And the other thing, too... The other thing that's really hard with setting up a second warehouse anywhere is that our product is not... We're not selling, like, a game where what our product is a couple books.
We have 1,000 different sets.
Yeah. The amount that we would have to order to actually set up another warehouse in another location that has the like 80 core sets that would let you get just the basics of each biome in the line is just a phenomenal startup cost for a market that we do not currently have a huge foothold in.
Other thing is nobody knows how long these tariffs this could all dissipate in a year, and like it's it's hard to make any sort of aggressive long-term planning when you don't know what it's going to be, like moving to Canada or something.
Opa, we cannot just move the molds to a factory here because that factory doesn't exist. Like the kind of production that we do,
the climate, the skill required to do it, and affordable labor costs. None of those things. Like literally nobody stateside has the analog tooling experience of our folks at the factory to do these steel molds. It is an art, and it's analog, right? It's a craft, like a lost craft, and they've leveled up with us over the last, when did we start? 2011, the first, so the last 15 years, they've leveled up their mold making to be able to accommodate this. Like nobody else can do this. Like it's bonkers.
It's not a thing that we could just outsource to anybody. We have developed a language and a workflow with them that took years and years to set up.
We had an episode where we talked about this. I don't remember which one it was, because there's also like the fact that because the equipment is actually old, like modern injection molding equipment is designed for efficiency in large production runs. So it takes longer to set up, but then once it's up, it's more efficient for the long run, which is great if you're doing 1 million casts a piece.
Yes.
We'll often cast 1,000 of the thing or 5,000 of the thing. So because it's the older equipment, it's faster to set up, and you can actually do these smaller production runs that you wouldn't be able to do in a more modern factory.
If our business model was having 8 different pieces that we were selling tons and tons and tons of, that would be a viable production method. We have probably over 2,000. How many different pieces do we have at this point? We have a lot of pieces.
I think it's like 1,500 or something, 1,200. You know who would know, Tyler.
Yeah.
It's a lot.
And those all need to, like the
more than 8.
The cavern core set has 15 to 20 different sculpts in it.
Yeah.
And those need to be produced, and there's a couple of many of those, and that needs to be done in a small production run. It's all.
It's wild.
It is. We have a very specific business model that can only work with the specific way it has been set up.
And amazing partners, right? The fact that we have our back and forth with the factory is amazing. Like they are really our trusted and valued partners that work with us and solve so many problems and know like the sorts of specifics, very specific things that we want and the millimeter perfection that we're looking for and all this stuff. Like they're really are they're amazing.
Yeah.
It's gonna be very, 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 very hard to find anybody else like that.
Yeah. To start over in the U.S. would mean having to reset all that skill like back to zero, like back to the beginning, and
Somebody would
also
put
have
down.
to build a new factory
It's
with that
old
equipment
equipment.
and train up new people.
Yeah.
And it would be an investment that is dozens of times more money than we have ever held at
Not
any
to
one
mention
time.
the bazillions of
Like,
pounds of molds. The
yes.
molds are 300 pounds, and we have
Even
like
even to ship those
just
somewhere else would be incredibly expensive. To ship those molds
would we
would
have to
be
pay a tariff on the molds?
yes, whatever the production value of those molds are.
Oh,
God, it would be a tariff on
all right,
whatever
we gotta move on. We gotta move on. I'm
Yeah.
gonna lose my mind. This is it.
It's a lot.
Hey, Mudkip. Theoretically, the first container hit the water today. We haven't had official confirmation, but it was supposed to hit the water today.
Yeah.
So we will keep you posted.
Yes.
So we believe container one's on the water and container two's following next week. We'll see.
So I guess long story short is if when it's like, oh, just move production to the US, it is literally not possible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We have I don't remember which episode we did a deep dive on that.
Yeah.
So let's talk about Perilous. Let's talk about the future, with this utopian future for next year, where we don't have to think about tariffs right now. For anybody that doesn't know, does anybody here not know what Perilous Frontiers is? We are it's our next big crowdfunding campaign, scheduled for Q2 of next year. We are going into Arctic and desert wastes, right? The sand and snow. It's to some degree Wildlands 2, although it's none of the Wildlands biomes, so it's a similar thing. New wilderness exploration, 2 brand new biomes, and it's going to be on the larger side. The project, it will not be as large as Lowtown, or as large as the original Wildlands, but it's going to be big with a bunch of big, brand new biomes. Very exciting. Like it's going to be awesome. I'd love to show you some stuff very soon. I said this month we will do it, so it'll probably be, where are we?
Brooklyn.
No, it's
it's October 15th.
Maybe next week. How much is this? Let's say I guarantee we'll do on the 29th. I guarantee we will do a Perilous episode come hell or high water.
Jen, it is still on GameFound.
Yeah, still live.
We do not see ourselves leaving GameFound for the foreseeable future.
I'm currently a little reluctant to show where we're at because we don't have a lot of, I don't say finished stuff, but there's like a lot of stuff is still in flux. And what I found a little bit is that we need to show enough of a proof of concept that you can kind of extrapolate out what the thing is. If it's too much, if it's too sketchy, people are kind of like all over the place, whatever. So I want to try and have a few of these assumptions locked down so we can show you something that looks like a thing, and get you fired up. And we're a little behind on prototypes on a few things because a lot of these things are big. Like there's some chunkier bits, and we're working on 2 paint schemes. So, but they need to both work off the same casting color, which is not necessarily gray. So if you're shifting one, it shifts the other, and I don't know. There's a lot of moving parts. But I want to show. I want to have something like that, something to show that you go, oh yeah, cool, that's gonna look awesome. And we're not quite at that spot yet. We have a lot of little things that are headed towards awesome, but we don't have quite enough to quantify. So I think we should have by the 29th. One way or another, we'll have to show stuff by the 29th because they said we'd show stuff in October. But let's say the 29th is the Perilous episode.
Is there any way where they could convince you to show something tonight? I get like not wanting to show a single bank or something, but like there's a couple cool things I can think of that might be fun to tease, even if they are still in paint test or something. But
yeah, let's see the dopamine. How nicely are they asking? What's the
Amy has put a lot of emojis in the chat.
ooh, sad emojis, like heartbroken emojis.
Yeah.
I can't tell what that last one is.
Are beans tariffed?
Are beans tariffed? Now beans are free.
Mm-hmm.
We'll make that fly. Oh, if you could cut over here and get rid of that, it sure would be swell. Is that a reference to swells in the banks? I like that. Ooh, chronolith is a hard few weeks and some new terrain would lift my day. Okay, well, that is a hard one to argue with. We need hope. Okay, in these bleak times. Okay, here's what we're gonna do. We're going to look at geometry. We're gonna look at let's Chris, tell some jokes for a second.
What's a good giveaway word? Because we need to run that.
My wife is in labor.
All right. If you want a chance to win $50 Dwarven Forge gift card, type. All right. If you want a chance to win a $50 Dwarven Forge gift card, type "My wife is in labor." All one word.
My wife is in labor.
Yeah, all one word. My wife is in labor.
Oh my God.
And then we'll roll that. We'll roll that in a couple. We'll roll that in a couple minutes. All one word, no spaces. No spaces, 666. Just my wife is in labor. All one word. There we go. Look at that. If you don't want to type it all out, just copy and paste somebody else doing it. Oh, yeah. Spell it the American way. There's no U in labor. There's no U in labor. It kind of sounds like a good slogan for a company that's trying to position like AI workforce as a positive thing. Saying like, hey, you won't have to work anymore. American spelling, presumably. Yes. Labor. Everybody seems to be getting it right so far. So I'm not terribly worried. It seems like everybody is managing pretty well. Not my life is in labor. My wife is in labor. Opa, if that was an accident and not a joke, just careful. You did say my life instead of my wife. Your wife is in Labrador. This is good. That's perfect. Autocorrect's having some fun today. Oh, I didn't consider that. All right, seems like we've got 54 people entered, so I think people are really kind of figuring it out. A bean's about to be born. Yeah. We're doing geometry. Oh, so maybe he's grabbing foam, actually. Did he say what he was grabbing? I wasn't paying attention. I was focused on the giveaway. He's been gone for a bit. I think he's actually grabbing like a collection. I was just thinking there was like one or two cool scatter things we could show, but might be doing something a little more substantial. Grabbing geometry. We're going to teach you guys how to find area. Volume. A third thing. What else is it? Because area is 2-dimensional, volume's 3-dimensional. I guess we don't know how to. I guess the 4th dimensional would be time. Why don't you tell us what he's showing? I don't know what he's showing. I don't know what he decided to give up. Oh, is he talking? You take your guess. I think it's probably banks. Banks or dunes? Oh, that's a lot.
All right. Well, I don't know exactly what it's going to work yet, but we're going.
You got it on the phone.
We're going back to we're going back to the roots here.
Old school,
right? Rough and raw geometry, right? Because this is the whole problem. Like this show started with showing the process and showing the rough bits and whatever. Yeah. So we're gonna go
very early streams was all the waterfall cubes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Eli sculpting, like just pushing stuff around, whatever. So okay. So all right, this was a good and hopefully Animation Giant's wife doesn't give birth in the middle of this, because then how funny.
She's not actually in labor, right?
I heard she's in labor. Everybody was writing about it in the chat. They just over and over again.
It's weird that they all have the same wife.
They all have the same wife.
Yeah.
All right, so We can talk a little bit about the process first.
Our wife, our communal wife, is in labor.
The whole poor wife. She's got a lot of kids all at once. So in general, it takes a very long time to sculpt a piece, right? Like sculpting something like this takes it's dwarven night. It's okay. Takes a very long time. So it's really important that when we started sculpting, this isn't going to change in any sort of radical way, right? Like it is, like if Toby sculpted this and then we realized it was supposed to be a 3-inch diameter circle or something.
That's a lot of time wasted.
Yeah, screw. You just lost a month, right? Like it's just, it is no good. So we spend a lot of time in development trying to, before you get to the really laborious sculpting part of doing sketches, doing mocks, doing geometry tests, like trying to nail down all of the parameters so that what you do, like once you actually go into art mode, you kind of know that like this is locked and you know the things you need to worry about, like, oh, the diameter needs to be a certain thing, the height needs to be whatever. Like in this case, like this has to have a port is got to be located exactly at this spot where, like all the kind of key details, as well as like if this is part of a system, hey, are there pieces of like, what's the visual vocabulary of this system, so that if this is going to work with 4 other pieces, that there's commonalities, be it the runes or the pipes or the stonework or the whatever. So you kind of have, generally what all the things you've built a corral out around the creative process. So now within that you can just go nuts, but the sort of all the things you're supposed to hit. So part of so a lot of times we'll work with rough sketches and take pictures from the internet or whatever. Like you're just trying to sort of rough out an idea. Once you have an idea of what it is, we will often make geometry mocks. So they could be done digitally. Sometimes they're done digitally and then printed out, so we just have like a block. Sometimes they're done in foam or in wood or even just like rough clay. Like we showed, when Eli was here, we showed those like big white clay lumps that are just shapes of clay. Like they're not sculpted or whatever. It was just like, the kids' clay that just to sort of get volumetrically, like this thing is going to sit like this. It's going to be this height. Like, this is the sort of the feel. It's like a gesture for like an artist. It's like a gesture sketch in 3D. So I got a pile of kind of geometry mocks here that we can look at. So you can sort of see a little bit of how this process works. So where are we gonna start? So let's start with something that's not like we have to build up to it. So
I'm gonna go ahead and roll the giveaway right now too.
Yeah, see whose wife goes into labor first.
Elvern the hero, congratulations.
Congrats.
Gonna whisper you real quick. I'm pretty sure we already have your email, but I'll just check. Perfect. Okay, I've whispered you. I do see we have your email. If you need it to be to a different email, let us know. But I think we should be good. I will ask Chuck to handle that after the stream. Now they have to name the baby Elvern.
Elvern.
He's excited he won with this keyword.
Congrats. All right, so for instance, we know that we are going to have, like, one of the things we tend to do in many biomes are banks. And why we love banks is they create negative space really well. If you just want to do one little scatter area, and if you want to use that, like let's say you're doing sand and you wanted to use a sand battle mat, but you had one raised area, you don't need to do the whole thing of sculpted floors. You can do a little bit of sculpted floors, do some banks, transition up. You want to do a river, you want to do a pit, you want to do whatever, boom. You want to do some gradual elevation changes. Like banks are just a thing we love in the arsenal. So, and it's a pretty simple one. So these are like initial mocks on a banks system for sand and stone. And these are simple because we kind of already know a lot of the parameters of what we're looking for in a bank system. We know what the profile of a bank's piece looks like. We kind of have all that out. So the idea is you rough up a bunch of stuff in foam fast, so then you can play with it and see if it does what it's supposed to do, etc. And then sometimes you may even make something really good as like a 3x3 floor. I didn't even write on this one, 2x2 floor, 4x4 floor. So there will be a banks system, and what we decided on. So I can't remember if we were doing this in conjunction with when we were doing the grass banks. It might have been at the same time. It was a similar timeline when we were working on the grass banks for cities, and one of the big questions was, are the city's grass banks going to be base 6 or base 4? So in Wildlands, we used a 6x6 square was kind of our standard floor size, because we were working outdoors and you want to do 1 square foot, like 4 6x6s gets you a 12x12, right? Gets you onto a terrain tray. So that felt like, because outdoor builds want to be big and expansive, 6x6 became our basic unit of measure. Similar to in a dungeon, 2x2 is the basic unit of measure. And the slightly weird thing is that meant half of a 6x6 became a 3x3, which works great on a base 6 system, not as friendly to incorporating with a base 2 or a base 4 system. So, of course, 4 plus 2 gets you to 6, and if you need a 1-inch anyway, but so one of the downsides with Wildlands was, if you were trying to integrate like a 4x4 building in with a bunch of 6x6 floors, you're off by 2 inches wherever you're trying to build everything in line. Of course, you can build on top or whatever. So, but we ended up, we made 2-inch floors and we made 1-inch floors and the like. So I mean, it all works. So fundamentally, it's still all working on inches. But for cities, we wanted that was designed to be integrated with and around a base 4 system, right? Buildings are a base 4 system where the basic building block is a 4x4 floor, and then we have 2x4 and 2x2, and you can put them all together and make it bigger. But the base is a 4x4. The streets are a base 4x4, and the like. So we realized that those banks really wanted to be also on a base 4 system rather than a base 6, because they were going to be integrating with all the base 4 stuff. When we were looking at Perilous, so even though it is an outdoor system that's designed for, generally we want to work with 6-inch base bits and we want to have big coverage, right? Like when you think of desert, when you think of the Arctic, you're thinking of like big, expansive, like fields of sand and snow as far as you can see, and like, right, it's big and expansive. It wants to be a base 6. But we also wanted to make sure that we could build in and around, like buildings seemed like one of the most natural things to put out in the wilderness were buildings, right? We want to make sure our buildings work. So, and Eli was really lobbying hard for this. So interestingly enough, like our floor system, I don't even have a mock for that because they're simple. So the floors of Perilous will be a 6x6 base, but then goes down to we're not doing 3x3s. So we're going from a 6-inch unit to we'll have 2x2s and we'll have a 2x6. So if you need to do smaller increments, you then go into a base 2 system, because 2s can get you to your 6, right? So you put 3 2x6s together and you get back up to a 6x6 instead of 4 3x3s, if that makes sense. And I should have cut strips out so you could show you that. But it's important for sort of understanding where the banks went. So we're going to have 6x for coverage, and then drop down to 2x6s and 2x2s for fiddly. So it's with less different pieces you can integrate with anything from dungeons to cities by building that stuff in line. If that makes sense. Should I have cut pieces of foam to illustrate 6 inches and 4 inches?
Do you not have a single 2x6 foam?
Not here. I could go back and get it. Yeah.
Is there one? Is there one in there that'd be easy to find? I mean, I could go grab it if you wanted to keep talking.
Yeah.
All right.
It was just trying to like. I didn't realize where I was going with all this. But
There's one right there in the middle. He's not talking about a bank though. He's wanting like a 2x6 floor. I see what you mean though. Yeah, they've got a 6-inch. They got a long straight right there. Let's assume, right? There's not a there's no floor there. Yeah, 2x6 you can show. I think I don't know that this actually needs to be. I don't know if this needs to be illustrated. The degree that he's wanting to illustrate it, but he's having fun, and that's the important thing. It's been a while. It's gonna do 6x6.
I was
with a
not
4x4 cutout in the
prepared.
middle. So just like a ring. So it'd be like a 2x. No, I guess it'd be a 1x1 all the way around. I think the problem there, you would have some serious warping issues. I think if you did that. Oh, you grabbed the.
we're
grabbed the hobby
going
man.
back to the roots. All right. We got a 6x6 floor. Boom. And we're gonna make a
Hephaestus.
the god of Dwarven Forge.
What dimensions would be pizza style? That's if we did diagonals.
All right, so we're gonna make ourselves 2x6.
Johnny has a swell wall, a large bank curve, and a large forest floor. How far can he charge if he wind initiative?
I love it.
If he wind initiative?
School word problems.
How far can he
that's
charge if he wind initiative?
It's a trick question. He's
6x6 is the dimension of the beast, yes. If he wins initiative, got it. Four steep beverages.
Yeah, that's what this
Chuck is
stream is missing. Is
if we were just drunk on top of this, I think it would be
awesome.
yeah. That's what's actually missing. Chuck is having a very hard time spelling tonight.
All right, we got a 4x4, 2, 3. Oh, let me do a couple of 3x3s, right?
Frost rum and coke.
All right.
Again, Frost.
Okay, so we have. Okay, so Wildlands was this, right? We had 6x6s, and we had 3x3s, and we had 3x6s. You know, I'm gonna raise up just a little bit so we can get a little higher for some. You gotta get elevate me.
We need to be drunk.
All right.
Yeah.
So Wildlands was 6x6s, 3x3s. But if you're trying to build, like, let's say I'm building a Wildlands build and I want to put my my 4x4 building in line, I'm now off by an inch, right? So then you would have to either use 2x2s or you could do the 3 and do a bunch of 1x2s or whatnot. However, if we went from a 6-inch to had some 2x6s, 2x2s, boom, boom, boom. We can wrap around really easily, right? We can pop in, kind of no matter what we're doing, we're putting a 2x4 floor or whatever. We can. It's going to be more easy to integrate 4x4 buildings, or even like 2x2 dungeon pieces or whatever. If we've got 6x6, 2x6, and what are these 2x2s? And then also if you want to run like, you know, if you were using it takes 4 3x3s to cover another 6x6. It only takes 3 2x6s to cover another 6x6. So I think it's going to be easier to sort of build ultimately. Anyway, so we kind of pushed it around. Yes, a 2x6 will be more resistant to warping than a 1x6, I think.
Yes.
So anyway, so we kind of pushed this stuff around in foam or digitally, whatever, to see if we think this makes sense. And the answer is yes, it seems to make sense. So then we're going to look at, all right, so this takes us over to the banks. So the bank system, once again, we're like, okay, if we're doing 6x and 4x, where do our banks want to hit? And the answer, one of the big drivers was being able to sort of wrap around buildings or whatever, right? Like, because you want to be able to have your kind of buildings with some sand drifted up or some snow drifted up. Yeah, I know, a 2x6 in Wildlands would be awesome, right? Can make this halfway between Dungeons and City scale. A third, a new, yet another scale would be amazing. So this was kind of the big driver. If we had a base 6 version of this, it would be 3 inches. It would be really ugly, trying to, like, hard to wrap around buildings quickly and easily, and that was like, oh, got to fly. So we so this was like the one that really pushed me over the edge of, like, oh yeah, I think 4 inches is going to be better base 4, right? So the swell is going to be and then at the same time we started doing the banks for cities, and those are base 4, and it's just delightful. It's just dynamite to work with. However, whoever never wants to be to keep everything uniform. We're still going to have a 6x bank, so that you can still do longer runs. So instead of having a 4-inch straight, we'll have a 2 and a 6. So once again, you can do big runs, because people are going to want to probably do big runs of stuff. So we're kind of getting the best of both worlds. And then we had a diagonal, but this one died because it ended up being too big. And we tried smaller convex or concave, smaller convex. Let's see, little concave. This was the big one, but we killed it. We got a short 2. We got a little convexy. And who did I miss? Oh, this, I don't think we ended up doing this guy, but we were considering the rare and elusive 1-inch bank.
Looks like a Lego piece.
Yeah, totally. But it has just a tiny bit of character right on the edge there, so it's like, just so it doesn't feel too perfect. Let's try to. And once again, the idea of these is to quickly test the geometry, get the gesture of it. Like, it's not 100%. It's pretty close to what the profile of the actual ones are, but it's like, it's not 100% precise. But it's enough that we know, like, you know, if it works in foam, then it'll work, because these are banks. We know kind of what we're doing. So I believe that was our final. I think we ended up locking a boom to boom, a pair of swells, a big concave, little concave, a 2, a 6, 2 concaves, 2 convexes, 2 swells, a straight, and a short straight. I believe that is our current lineup, as it stands, or at least that was where it left off with Mox. So that's a little taste of the process. So now let's get a little spicier, right? So that was the kind of expected stuff. Let's look at. Oh, this was funny. Let's see, what did I do?
So same as grass, but a 6-inch straight instead of a 4-inch straight?
Yeah. Yes, currently. Also, this means the prices will be a little lower. Well, here's the thing. The prices on these are going to be comparatively, well, if you modernize the Wildlands prices, these will be cheaper than the Wildlands pieces, because the paint schemes are going to be simpler. Like, those Wildlands pieces are bonkers, right? There are 6,000 different plants and roots overgrowing rocks, and, like, the painting is really tough on them. It's a lot of different colors, and they're all generally big, right? So these are they're just going to be generally cheaper across the boards, and you'll be able to, like, you'll get more 2x and stuff, so you don't need to have a 6-inch concave, because you'll have more of these lying around, so you can make it a 6-inch or a 4-inch or whatever. So I think you're going to have a better toolbox for less money, like more versatile toolbox for less money. It might take you slightly longer to do super big builds because you're working on base 4 instead of base 6, but also you'll have more versatility because of that, because 6, you can't do shorter turns and stuff when you're on a base 6. So I think it's going to be it's going to be exactly the toolbox you want for this sort of a thing. So then this was, I can't even remember where these landed. Were these on? Hold on a second. That is.
Will there be multiple 2x2s? The 3x6 from Wildlands is super repetitive. Talking about 2x2 floors.
Right now, we only have one, and and I'm excited. We'll have to do like a whole breakdown on the floor texture. So like Eli must have sculpted, I don't know, 20 different textures for what looks good to be both sand and snow. And it was a whole, like, how busy is too busy, how plain is too plain, how can it work in all directions? Like, well, we'll show you. We've got a whole bunch of really cool tests that he did. He just went forever. But ultimately, the thing we decided is that snow and sand, sort of as the base, wants to be pretty bland, right? It wants to be relatively featureless in that you can have that thing that's just like the expanse that goes forever, right? And the way you give a character is elevation changes and other things there, right? We didn't want the floors to do as much heavy lifting as all the other stuff. And so that you didn't have to have, and because it was like relatively bland, it's going to feel repetitive because it just feels, it's like an endless thing of sand. Like if you're looking out at the beach, it's generally repetitive, right? There's a little elevation change, maybe there's some seashells here, whatever, but basically just sand forever, right? If you're looking out at, it just snowed, and you look at the field, it's generally repetitive, except for where that bush was that was sticking up, or that cool tree, or that rock, or that whatever. So we're basically leaning on getting you your visual variety by things that you can add to a simple base, so that you can make it as bleak as you want, right? If you want to have a bleak, barren, white, like it just goes forever snowfield, you can. If you want to pepper that up, we're going to give you a bunch of stuff that you can do to pepper that up and give it personality. But by using that same base, you can be able to go throttle up or down as much visual interest or as bleak as you want. So you have a lot of options as you go.
Yeah, and we're gonna have glitter on top of all the snow paint so that it all glistens.
Well, we've found that 3 layers of glitter was the optimum, right? We have a large scale glitter that goes on the base. It's like a deep blue glitter that's kind of like the shadow glitter, and then about half that size. Then we found this perfect glue that only holds for about 2 days. So the second layer is done with that glitter, and that one is like a brighter. Those are the sort of the little what is that? Violet, the little violet plant, and they're longer pieces of glitter, like they're like the oblong ones. So those are like the little those cool like sparkly bits. And then we found this glue that basically the second you spray it on, it just dissipates. And we use the top layer of that, and that's a super fine, like sand thin, like super iridescent topper. So by the time it arrives to you, if all goes well, all of the glue will have released at this point, and then the glitter will come off probably in an explosive fashion when you open the box. It should be. It's going to be something.
Yeah, and I know a lot of you are worried about, you've got children or animals at home who, might try to kind of stick the pieces in their mouth or something. And so to help deter them, we made sure we're only using toxic glitter as well.
Well, it's arsenic. That way, it's just ground arsenic, so that they'll know immediately, oh, I shouldn't eat this. It's going to kill me.
The survival instincts will kick in. They'll go like, I should stop putting that in my mouth.
Yeah. No, so if it smells like bitter almonds when you open it, whatever, like that's where the cyanide layer is already exposed. So like it should keep everything away. You'll be fine. Yeah. And then there's another layer of glitter underneath on the bottoms. So then when you actually put it down on your table and lift it off, that'll leave like the finish, right? It's a glittery finish that'll leave the story will linger for 100 years. It's gonna be epic. All right, so then I'll show you something that died.
Yeah.
So at one point,
I'll show you something that died.
Yeah, like all sorts of ideas die, right? We make not that died, like an idea. We kill ideas like left and right. So were these, I can't remember if these were the bank things. So at one point I was pitching to make the banks an inch high. And with the thinking being like, because sand and snow, like banks are very kind of iconic part of sand and snow. Like, what if we made these banks have more oomph, right? Like, what if we went an inch high? So I was roughing out like, what does an inch high bank system look like, and why is it awesome? And the answer was yes, it looks good, but how the hell now you have to suspend every floor? Like now, because our floors are floor height, we either have to make the floors an inch thick, or we have to suspend every single floor. It ended up causing more problems than it was going to solve, because one of the other drivers was like, ooh, because then you can take them back to back, and you can make cool like cool sand drifts and sand dunes and whatever. And you can have like you can do a 45-degree piece, which will then open up. Oh, where is this? Boom, boom. This guy. Right, the 45 lets you then like let you kick. How does that guy go? Is that another 45? Yeah, so you could like kick stuff off at a 45-degree angle, or you could drop this guy like off at a thing like that. I don't know if I made a 45 concave. I don't think I did because I got to it. But anyway, so this was like, yeah, but it was just going to be a disaster in terms of like actually trying to build inline and sort of shift. The thing that banks are really good at is right getting us down from negative space up to like floor level and just building out big expanses. It was just going to cause you were going to have to use so many more extra pieces just to get your floors to work, and then everything's off and whatever. Plus, what else do we have that was going to a 1-inch height in wilderness, right? We've got the urban elevation system, which is great at 1-inch height, but basically nothing else is doing that. So it's kind of going to make it somewhat incompatible, or not incompatible, but not friendly. The compatibility was not friendly with the rest of like, because ultimately we want to be able to use this stuff in conjunction with the rest of your wilderness pieces. And yeah, you're not gonna run a sand bank right up against a grass bank. However, it's really easy to make a transition if we want to. If they've got the same profile, it's really easy to make a cool little 2x or 4x whatever transition from this into any other bank we have or whatever. So versus like these, like transitioning this becomes a whole nother, because then you also have to transfer the floor, and it's just like is not so friendly. So that died. However, it evolved. I guess it didn't die so much as it evolved, but that core geometry. All right, and these are. I'm gonna warn you, these are ugly. Like these are very rough and tumble. Like they're not good to look at. But we're gonna look at them. Oh, I forgot. Wait. We were gonna pause a bit before. We were. This was a Toby. What do I have? Oh, maybe he only did those two. So then this was concurrently. Toby was pitching. What if we did freestanding? I don't know. There's a straight one somewhere. These are cool. These are just made of paper, which is really fun. Like, what if we did freestanding? Because we were trying to like say, okay, how can we make drifts also? Like, what if it was a freestanding thing that was higher, right? So it was like escarpment height. I think this was 2 inches, right? Yeah, 2 inches high, and you could even with just a straight, an end cap, and a 45, you could make some. And I don't know where the other. Hopefully, find them halfway through here. I don't know where the straight and the end cap went, but the idea was, we could make like a cool dunes like this. These become, instead of just little banks, they become like full-on drifts or dunes, whatever. But they ended up feeling that they weren't playable. Like the slope was too steep, and they weren't really that modular of a system in that all you could do is sort of linear dunes, right? You could curve them, you could do whatever, but it's like you had an end cap, you had a straight, you had a curve. You could do like a Y intersection or something, but still fundamentally it's not really expandable in a lot of the ways. Like it doesn't have a lot of the modularity potential to be like a full-blown system that will let you build a lot of things, right? We want to give you open-ended tools that are going to let you build a lot of things. So concurrently, this collection was rapidly dying. This guy didn't make it, but it spawned the ugly collection here, right? These mocks are ugly. The sculpts are gorgeous. So then it was like, okay, what if we take the height of these guys with the kind of the core geometry of these guys and do these guys, right? So this is the two, and this was the birth. This is where we ended up with our dunes system. So the idea is these are essentially, yeah, like I said, they don't look very, they're not very pretty to look at here, but the idea is it's escarpment height, right? It's 2 inches high, and it's just shy of 4 inches long, and it's the same base 6, base 2, right? So it's like it's 6, but we don't do 3-bys. We then go down to 2-bys if you're doing a smaller increment, because it's more friendly to work with anything else as a 2-by. And the idea is the pitch on these is such that you can get miniatures on them. Not everywhere, like there's some spots sculpted in that are more conducive to miniatures than not, but they become playable. They get us to a height that's very friendly for the rest of Wildlands, right? Because escarpments go up to that same height. 38 millimeter stilts in a floor get you up to this height. 2 inches is the height of a building. Is height, right? So these are going to get us to a whole bunch of fun modularities. So we have something like so there's a rough, right, and these are just as fast and dirty as possible to just sort of see if the geometry is going to work. So the idea is, okay, you get a couple of those together, and this is actually the end cap ended up getting, this was the earlier, yeah, I forgot. Okay, there's a whole nother iteration in here, which you can sort of see. Okay, so originally, they were a 6-by base with floor baked in on the top. I forgot this. I cut them off the back. Oh yeah. That's why there's no record. So imagine there was was it 2-inch rise on the back? Can't remember because it had to line up with this. So this was the original curve, or something like that. Yeah. So these were 6 inches long, which turns out really big, like 6-by-6, 2-inch high dunes, a little too big. So
yeah, 6 inches is surprisingly big.
Right. It's just a perfect size.
Yeah.
So we got them down to 4 inches, which was just plenty to work with, and so I don't know if I have. Hang on, I don't have a. Oh yeah. Okay. So then the end cap came something like this, right? So you could. This is such a fun trip down memory lane. Hang on, this stuff's falling off the table. Hold on. Yeah.
You've got a lot of stuff there.
Yeah. This is my natural.
They look a bit like escarpments. I mean, they're kind of the escarpments for.
Yeah. They're the escarpments of Perilous.
Yeah. This is the kind of elevation you would see there.
Oh yeah. Here's the thing. All right. So we have, and once again, these are pretty ugly, fast roughs. But the idea is you can make modular dunes without very many pieces, right? So just starting with a convex and a straight, if I had more of these, you can make various lengths dunes. And we have a 2-by here. Where'd that wonderful floor I made go? So then imagine if you wanted to get a little more playable space on here, you could take these, splay them open, pop a 2-by in there, and then take our 2-by-6 floor, biscuit that bad boy in here, boom, 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 and now you have little more playable space. You want to get bigger. I don't know if I have a third tuba. Oh, I did not prepare all these out, but you get the. Yeah, I don't think I'm gonna do it. But you'll use your imagination. So imagine this, boom, boom, boom. You put a 6x, boom, 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 boom. You put your 6x floor on there, whatever. You can make a little plateau. But then, if you want, right, and this is going around, you can then go up another layer if you want to come up. So like if you were going, boom, boom, you can then get your next one up like this, and you can start doing double high dunes and the like, right? So you can just keep going, right? Similar to escarpments, you'll just keep kind of building up and up and up as you need. So that was just with like those base pieces. Then of course we'll have a concave, which because you want to be able to make was this the final? Yeah, I think it was. Right, you want to be able to make cool shaped dunes, right? So you can kind of zip around. The thing you can lay up your floors. You can then start building another level. I'm off the. All right, you can kind of then start building up another layer here. Blah blah blah. Go like that, whatever. Just in like. And then that's sort of good baseline fun, but not quite as organic as we need it to fully be. So enter this little piggy, which I can't remember what the name is. So this lets you
The tentacle.
Yeah, it's totally the tentacle dune. So this lets you do some neat, get some cool character to the ends of your dunes, right? Kind of peter out in a cool way, and in conjunction with this. Or if you have, I think I only made one of these because it's real hard to make. If you have two of them, you could have a sort of bifurcated dune or whatever. There's a bunch of neat. It's an alternate corner that kind of gives you this cool diagonal peter out. So it's going to give you a lot of interesting. A lot of interesting shapes to work with. And then if you throw in, so it's boom, 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 now it's getting a little more organic. Then if you throw in, let's look at this guy first. And it's hard, they're a little rough, so they're a little hard to envision, but you have this, imagine this has a nice like ridge, right? This is kind of a raised ridge that's breaking the plane. We have this cool ridge piece that builds. Essentially it's a diagonal. I don't know if you can see it there, but it's a diagonal that meets up from both sides. So you can, where's that guy? This guy's running here. So you can do like sorry, this is gonna line up right now. I don't think this is the final. Is this? Oh man, this is bad. Oh no, this is the inverted one. Hang on. That guy was this. That guy was this. Was this the new or is that the same? Yeah. Well, anyway, you get maybe this one's a little better angle. No, because this was the older. I don't think I. Where's the one I modified? Well, no, the idea is that it'll let you go boom and then diagonal and then keep building off. Where's this guy? Keep building off in that direction. Do another curve. Do another curve. I don't think I have enough. I don't think I have enough mocks to get over. But you can do these really neat. These really neat organic runs by having this diagonal here that lets you go diagonal to diagonal. And then we have the opposite of that guy, which started like this guy and then got slimmed down to this guy, which is doing the opposite. So that one was doing a ridge up in the middle, and this is doing a valley down in the middle. So this is a diagonal valley. So this lets you have like a neat little pass through the dune, especially if you're doing like double-sided dunes on either side or whatnot. So once again, if you're like these are super rough geometry to see if it's going to work. I can't wait to show you like what the actual sculpts look like. They are it's going to be a very fun system, but generating these prototypes is taking a little bit of time because they're some of them are chunkier and there's some funky geometry in there. I don't have another one. Sorry, so that was the. Wait, we have the valley. we have the valley, we have the ridge, we have the concave, the convex, the pointy convex, whatever. And then we may revisit this the 45-degree piece opens up a whole bunch of crazy possibilities, because then you can like knock, and this one once again is not cut to the end, but like this lets you then knock off stuff at a 45-degree if you want to really get like organic and fun. So it'll be we'll see what happens. We're gonna have them in hand to kind of lock down the finals. But I think the 45 might be a game changer on what it lets us do. But it's kind of fun to see the evolution of like those sort of small boys to the bigger boys to like the final thing. And we had the absurdly large 6-inch and then scaled it back so that fundamentally like this isn't too huge a piece. This isn't too huge a piece. The straight's pretty big, but it's not outrageous. And then the only really outrageous is the ridge is outrageous and the big concave is outrageous. But the most of the system is not outrageously large. And the texture, so Eli sorted out a texture that works wonderfully well for both sand and snow. So we're gonna be able to use the same big ass molds to get us coverage from both sand and snow, and it's gonna be awesome. The goal is, in general, wherever we can, if we can double dip on the pieces, it helps us a lot with the molds. That was nice. All right, so those were some down and dirties. Do you want to see?
Do you want to see anything else, or are you guys done? Are you good?
What time is it? Oh, we got time to
8:47.
show
We got time to do one more thing. Sinister Sand and Snow win.
Yeah.
Look, we're doing enough. We're doing enough as is. Current date range that we're targeting, late spring, early summer, I think is what we're targeting.
Q2.
Q2, yeah.
Q2 Brute.
I don't know if we can get more specific than that right now, but like that's what we're targeting.
You want to see something that died?
Yeah.
Who knows? They may resurrect at some point, but there were. Let's see if I can find all the escarpment stackers, which were verticals that are designed to. I should get these terms. They're designed to sit really cleanly on the tops of the escarpments and go straight up vertically, and be double-sided, kind of like the old. They're basically like old Aranthor cliffs meet the dead side on the back. Old Aranthor cliffs meet the escarpments, which is kind of a fun little collection. And then I'll show you. It got really out of hand, which is the fun part. So then that escalated to well.
Escalated being the key term.
If we want to do vertical, like, let's just do vertical, right? Like, why not go big, right? If we're gonna go up and do cliffs, like let's do just full on cliffs. So that was, oh wow, I forgot about this guy.
Just DM screen height cliffs.
That was bonkers. That guy died. Oh, and this was then you could pop it off and have like a
It's a trifecta cliff.
It was like, yeah, it could be just like rock, or you could put the sand or snow in there, and then if you wanted to like have a little surprise, you could pop out the sandworm hole or whatever. Maybe this will come back someday. We'll see. I forgot about that little. It was sort of veering off where we were, but sometimes you just start making stuff and you're like, you're creative. The big ass. Where's the convex? So the fun thing with these. These monsters. So the idea with these things is they were designed to hold, like you drop your battle board inside. Like they're designed to wrap your battle board to do like quick, easy elevation, like just drop, just drop massive precipice right on your table. Maybe someday we'll see. Right, so then you can build boom and around. That's 6 inches. So then it gets you to 12. Yeah, you can like. It was a fun do that guy, and then like, oh, there's this little biscuit all this stuff together, and yeah. So that went away. Oh, look at this crazy. This is me getting wild. This was trying to do little stairs, a stacker with stairs that could get you
just up to the monastery.
Like, yeah, but then you can also invert it and have it be like a little cave or whatever. Yeah, so these are not appearing in this movie.
Yeah.
I was
gonna say the same thing.
But shows you where some of the so that was the driver. So the reason the dunes originally had were going to be the full 6 inches, they were going to terminate with 2 inches of flat there that was going to line up with the original stackers, so that then you could go from, so it becomes drifted sand up into like the stone cliff or whatever. But it was going to be too many big pieces all in one fell swoop. So these guys, R.I.P. Oh, look at that one! It's like naked. It has it's like it becomes a natural bridge, or it's come stairs. It's like, yeah, fun bits. All right, but then we have time for one last little.
A couple minutes.
All right. We've got lots of bins of lots of mocks throughout history of stuff that, sometimes it dies, sometimes it evolves into something else, sometimes it becomes a real thing. You never know, and then you never know when it comes back. Okay, I'll show you a little thing that's actually super handy. But let's see, I didn't bring. All right, well, let's say we'll use this. I think this will work. It doesn't even have biscuit holes yet. So we're looking at these little guys here. So look at these cute little guys. So this is these are little freestanding drifts with the goal of being like little integration pieces that you can use to help integrate your non-snow or sand pieces into that environment. Right. So this has a 2-inch wide back. This has a 1-inch wide back. So you'll kind of always have a spot to put it up against. The back of this will be carved out a little bit so that it'll sit. I don't have an escarpment here, but so it can help sit against your escarpments or anything, because the escarpments have little angles from them, so like you can get it up pretty close up against the escarpments. We may have a slightly bigger, little chonker, the double hump. So it's a 4-inch guy, once again with a little carve out. Whatever. So there'll be some little combination of stuff that you can use to help, like if you do your little dungeon area outside, you can throw this up in against the walls where it would drift out, like as well as something like this little piggy, which is it would be like a biscuit insert piece. So if you had another floor, you could hang it right. You could hang that off your next floor. Anywhere you have like a biscuit slot, you can pop some icicles in and hang some icicles off. Maybe I could do it here. Pretend. Right. So imagine so you can hang your like icicles off the sides of your buildings or whatever. and then there's a little, where's the little cute guy? Oh, this one. So this is a little, like it sits on a 1-inch and then it has icicles hanging off the side, right? So I don't have a great flat. So if you had any sort of flat thing that you wanted to drape on, you put it on the top of a thing and drape your icicle down over the side. And it'll help sort of integrate anything into the ice environment. Yeah, that one's only ice because obviously there's sand does not make icicles. And similar, like, right? So the icicles, these would be just ice, but these would be both snow and ice. I'm gonna give you one last little yeah, here's a nice ugly. That's actually too nice. Let me find an uglier one. Hold on. I'll find an earlier iteration. More. Where did it go?
Just got into his box of toys. We lost him at this point. I think we're just trying to figure out if you'd be willing to show them one thing, and now it's just been diving into
All right.
everything.
So this
in
is
your
a
box.
fun. Okay, once again, geometry mocks, and kind of you can see a little bit of an evolution here, not a lot, but this is anybody guess what we got here?
Beyblade.
Yeah, it's a Beyblade. So Toby did these digital, and then we printed them out. So this is a geometry mock on some drift stones, right? Trying to figure out can we expand the drift stones a little bit. And what I was going to show, so like these are just it's a mock, right? These aren't the actual spikes. It's just say, hey, there'll be like spikes to the bottom. We want a footprint, something like this. We're gonna want a biscuit hole, something like that. Like, do we have paired pegs? What, trying to figure that stuff out. So like, what you can see, and this is kind of fun. So this was version 1, and then this is one's happily labeled. This is version 2, and so you can see like the fun evolution here is like the top. Right, we're trying to get more organic, right? So this was just super raw geometry of like, okay, we need to have a 2-inch bit here that has a biscuit slot, so it becomes it wants to nest up against anything. We have so many 2-inch things that have from scaffolding to the side of a building to other rocks or whatever. Like, so, but it doesn't look great when it's on its own and it's like too clean. So it's like, so Toby starts chipping away at that of like, okay, how far can I drift from straight and still have the connectivity and still feel good if you have like a scaffold. I don't have scaffolding in front of me, right? Like if you have a thing against it, does it still work while then also looking not as straight? And then let's see if any other changes. I don't think he started poking at the rest of it yet. Mostly this was just attacking the silhouette. And then the third iteration, I see the difference. So then this is V3. Goes even further. Go left to right, right? Yeah. Right, so you can sort of see it's going to get even more organic. He's pushing that angle back a little bit, knocking that in just a little further. We're on this one. And this point we realized we wanted to pull out the paired pegs, come out, so the paired peg holes come out. We leave just the biscuit hole, and at this point, also he's changed. So there was the side hole was on the same spot, same face as the biscuit hole in these first 2 iterations. Then this third iteration realized you got much better connectivity if it was on the opposite side because it opened up more building possibilities. So like this is just sort of the evolution of geometry mocks of like, okay, do we have like the right kind of, is this having the right kind of functionality? And the reason, what's fun about doing it digitally is then we can print out a bunch of these and test them and build them together and yada, yada, yada. So It's faster than trying to generate a bunch of foam. It's faster to initially to do, like doing one foam mock, very fast, right? You can do this in minutes, and you don't have to wait for a print or whatever. Wanting to make 10 of these is a real is a nightmare. But once I have this made, you can print a whole bunch and test and whatever.
And it prints in like 3 seconds.
Yeah. Overnight, but generating it like it, you don't have to do anything to generate 10 other than hit print, versus having to cut a whole bunch of the same foam out over and over and over again. So there's a little taste of messing around with drift stones and what functionality can happen there and what's going. And it's going to be really fun. I can't wait to show you the sculpt where you can see where the core geometry came from, but how much more organic it gets even more organic from here. So you wouldn't recognize, when you get to see the final, you wouldn't recognize this as like this was the core working geometry it started with, and it'd be really fun to sort of compare this to the sculpt to sort of see where it goes. So I think that was maybe more beans than
it's a lot more than I expected.
Well, we started with 0, and you know.
We didn't show any actual pieces, I guess. So
no, and we showed half the things we showed are dead, and but it was that's what we should be doing on the show. So
yes,
more to come on the 29th. We can actually maybe show some real pieces then, as well as who knows what else we'll have at the gander at then.
There's a lot more to show.
Did that uplift? Did your wife have the baby yet?
Yeah.
Wow.
There's definitely more to show in the future, and we'll get into showing actual pieces soon. But that was a nice first
for
foray.
now, the process. We'll see how it goes, and it is not a straight line. We zig and zag, and often we'll circle back to an idea that was discarded, or it evolves, or the other things around it change, and then it comes back, and now it has a home, or the thing you thought was a lock now doesn't fit, or I don't know. It is a fun adventure, and made possible by folks like you.
All right.
Good. Thanks for. Yeah. So we'll be back next week.
Yes.
We got Hamster's Hobby hanging tomorrow.
Yes.
Right. Also Hamster is in the New York Open, so you got to wish him luck. He's playing for a golden ticket in AOS to see if he can go to the World Championships. So we wish him luck.
Wow, so he'd have to fly out there for that if he gets it.
Yeah, he's not working. He's playing. He's played 5 games in 2 days, like 15 hours of Warhammer.
He's really trying to narrow down his list and strategy and everything.
Yeah, he's been jamming.
He's running Stormcast. Yeah, he's not doing his orcs.
Just Stormcast.
Yeah.
Funny enough, because the Cruel Boys are now winning everything. And
really?
Yeah.
He should just switch over. He has all the stuff painted.
No, he already submitted his list. He's locked. He's like, yeah.
All right.
But he's got a really good. He's got a good handle on his Stormcast list, and he's got a bunch of good tools. Paladors, Prosecutors, and Annihilators with Grand Hammers, and just it's all damage. Oops, all hammers. And then if he doesn't kill you, he's in trouble because he runs out of units. But
I don't think it's being streamed. Maybe like
no, I don't.
Some main event thing might be, but there's gonna be a lot of games.
Yeah.
So it won't.
We'll give you a recap on next week. We can tell you how it went. Although I'll tell you his expectations are, his goal is he wants to not lose all 5 of his games. That's his. He's setting his realistic goals of if he could just eke out 1 victory, he'll feel really good. And best case scenario, he wins the golden ticket. But
it turns out that he just is hot the whole weekend, and
he's rolling hot. He's rolling all 6s.
Yeah, that's the thing, right? Like it mostly comes down to it doesn't mostly come down to luck, unless you're playing Skaven.
Then you have to roll 13s all the time.
Yes, specifically
on 2d6.
Yeah.
Magic number. I was supposed to be doing some building for your Open tonight. That didn't work out.
Oh.
No.
Well, sorry.
No, it's okay. This was a fun. People needed some beans. They were sad. They were downtrodden. They're
having such a hard time with this tariff news. Yeah.
Everybody was going into going into labor, it was tough.
Yeah. All right. Well, we should get out of here, and we'll be back next week. And we're gonna start
Enhancers tomorrow night, doing painting whatever.
Yeah. All right.
You know what I really wanted to do was I wanted to do, by request, dive into the numbers on the Cities Reforged Pledge Manager. Like talk about what the popular sets were, what the popular pieces were, what the unpopular were. That's not gonna happen now because we extended the thing for a month. So yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I guess we could talk about how it's going so far, but I don't.
It's not the same as like you need to have the final numbers. Like we want to see the
That's fair.
right? Like I don't know. I feel like you want to have because there could be some big there's some sprint to the finish when somebody just like throws in 20 more sets of those. I don't know, the dirt path curves and pushes those things up to into the pole position. Like I don't know. You gotta have the final numbers.
You're less than 100 away from hitting 2 million.
Woo! $100.
Yeah.
$100. Somebody put in $100 right now, just for the beans. As thanks for the beans, you got to put in $100 to get us over 2 million right now.
So long, and thanks for all the beans.
Yeah.
It'll happen tonight.
Thanks for all the fish. We appreciate you guys. See you next week.
Yeah.
Huh.
Good.
All right. Good.
All right. Good night, everybody.
1.99.
Just a lot of nines.
909.
A lot of nines right now.
That is amazing.
All right.
Sharp money waits till the finish line. Dragus is not wrong.
No. All right. Good night, everybody.